Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my lovelies, my beauties, my royalties? And I know this is going to be after Pride Month, but I don't care. Happy Pride. I love and adore. I'm an ally. And yeah, it's like I'm talking about this on Father's Day. So yeah, but I'm so messy. None of these episodes. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I am gonna try to start creating episodes for specific days and holidays, and when I do ahead of time. But you know what? I'm dealing with trying to get a business started and healing a broken heart and stuff from my disability, so I can gain more of my independence and a lot of goals and a lot of things that I need to work on. But now even more that I need to work on because since I don't have a man anymore, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I retire from dating, but if you don't know why, like, listen, 2 weeks ago, whatever. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is part two of Gray Sheep episode. Then I'm gonna start a Broken Heart series because, yeah, it's gonna help me with my writing. Because the funny thing is that with one of my characters, with the love interest in her series, I depicted it off of him. But now I feel this pain, and now I'm wondering, is he, is this character, is this going to be a love interest temporarily, or what? Like, am I gonna, am I gonna write it as what I wish, or what it is? Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But anyway, okay. Part two. Grab a drink, sip some scorching, boiling hot patty tea. Oh, and it's really funny. One of my dating app pen pals, he's been listening, so he know, like, he's so sweet. He's very sweet. But he even wrote me telling me how he's been listening and that he's sorry about the breakup and stuff. So I just really want to say thank you for, because he even quoted my beginning of my episodes and stuff, but and he's adorable and sweet and stuff. It's like I hope he finds his princess. I just know that after going through this, my heart can't. I I thought he was the one. I did, and some people are gonna laugh or be happy about it, but I'm. If you understand my, like, some people will never understand my post traumatic stress disorder, but honesty is the best policy. Honesty heals. Honesty, saying things out loud, So, because trust me, I want to say I hate him. I do. I so want to right now because I keep wondering what happened. Like, like, did I waste this time that, like, I have no idea what I did wrong. And it's so frustrating. I'm going to get to the main event soon, but like, he kept asking for regular date nights, and I loved it and cherished it, and I was so excited. Like, you don't even, like, they're like, every other Saturday I'd be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, she's like, it's my day with him, I'm so happy, yay. It's like, oh, like, okay, let me get, like, because he doesn't even understand how much he motivated me. Because now, yeah, I do episodes every day because it's like, I want, like, especially once I publish my books and my candles or whatever, I wanted to, bring in either money or make a difference, and for people to hear the perspective of a black disabled woman. But it's like, when I was with him, like, I was like, okay, it's date night, so make sure my episode's up, make sure blah blah blah. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, what would he want me to do? Which topic, what episode is? And there's sometimes where I'm like, you know what? I won't. Sometimes I would talk about some of my trauma because I'm st- I'm still healing from my exes because they betrayed me, used me. So especially after I got diagnosed, I realized how much they took advantage of me and lied to me and used me. And so it was a way for me to say it without, you know, and because he listened to my episode, he listened to my channel. And at first it got me nervous because I thought it would scare him away, then then I now I don't know if he really heard me or was he did he listen? It's like cuz yeah, so okay. Part 2. Make sure to check out my Patreon because I've got all of the petty tea, a lot of receipts. I'm even starting to upload articles that I saw like years ago that I brought up in some of my college classes that I thought was really interesting. It's even the comparison of how much McDonald's workers get paid in different countries, and oh, also toxic ingredients that they'll put in American food, but they won't put it in international foods. And that's one reason why with the blue box macaroni and cheese, Canada's recipe is different and more healthy than ours. And it's like, so yeah, and I bring that up because like even cancer versus foods in different countries, like the percentages, all different stuff, type of stuff. See, I'm a nerd and I plan on going through all of this because I feel like knowledge is power, and this is, yeah. So I'm not chasing what's trending. I know some people look at me like a loser. Yeah, you know what? It is what it is. And that's, again, with my trauma, I just want to speak my truth. I want to tell my story because no one believed me for decades, to the point where I could not walk, to the point where I had to have surgery and spend almost every penny I had. I was about to buy a house. Okay. Like, I think my goal was the next school year. Like, I just needed maybe half the school year to, because, and that was going to be like so that I could make, because I was doing research on how much due on the original, like the down payment, and then what would impress or be like better to make sure that you got the offer or whatever. And so, like, I and there was one, I mentioned this I think in a couple episodes ago, how there was this one house that was perfect. It was my goal house. I knew I probably was not going to get that house, but it had like a little summer, and I'm going to get to it in a minute, but it had like the little summer house in the back, but connected. So then I could have part of my business back there and just, I don't know, just a whole array. And it was just beautiful. And like there were some times where I would be down and out and discouraged. And everyone said, like my mom saying, "You're not going to finish grad school. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that, or whatever." I would get it online and look up that house. And like while I was working on some of my essays or applying for promotional modeling work or like trying to apply for an advertising marketing job, but a lot of them were just really shallow. Once they saw how I walked, they didn't. Anyway, or because I'm black, because you do not know how many times one of the marketing companies would be like, "Oh, which one of your parents are white, mixed?" Or, "Oh, what are you really? No, what are you really?" Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like they forget that people who have a marketing degree went to business school. So if you went to business school, you had classes in HR. Yeah. So I know legal and illegal questions, and those questions were illegal, but okay. So let's grab that piping hot boiling petty tea. Ooh, we're gonna need a little lemon, a little bitter, because I'm about, yeah, part 2. I'm probably gonna need some sugar and some lemon with this one, but take that deep breath. Don't forget about those Epstein files because some of these men are a hot mess in these streets. And then even with the Michael Jackson documentary, I probably covered that on the Nerd channel, but the way they're trying to like, and I'll say this on record. I don't even care. I was kind of nervous to say, but he didn't. I don't think he did it. Nothing in my, no, no one's gonna change my mind on that. when all of the child actors, they keep saying no, they're turning things around, they're making him look bad. No, it's like he saved me. Either saved me from the island, or he saved me from these other stars, or he protected me, or just like listen to what the children are saying. Because remember, children, when they're like, they had that one false one because the boy said his mom or the parents told him what to say or whatever. So if you eliminate him and look at listen to all the other child stars, listen to what they said, and see, this goes back to my trauma because no one listened to me. And so I know, like, especially while after I got diagnosed, after getting diagnosed, I started researching certain things, because even patterns and I'm gonna do an episode, probably maybe the next episode on the Nerd Channel, are some of my favorite shows. Because I saw, like, I know I should have majored in anthropology after realizing all of my favorite shows, past, new, whatever. But Bones, Bull, and now I'm like a show that I used to really like, but then my ex literally, well, but Don't Lie to Me. And then, oh no, did I forget? There's The Closer. Yeah. And no, but there's another one. There's another one. Okay, I'll think about it later, whatever. But all of those, like with the anthropologies and the patterns and figuring out in order to close cases, yeah, it makes sense. Because even with Don't Lie to Me, I've caught my ex's lie because I used to look up body language and things like that. And especially since everyone kept calling me a liar, and my mom would tell me that she knows what she knew when I was lying. And then I realized, no, she was she's picked up my patterns of telling the truth, and when I was desperate for someone to listen. Now she says those are lies. So now my lies are the truth to her. And it was so, like, with her, it was so confusing. And that's one reason why the Alabama trip was so confusing and so horrifying. And like, I think that wasn't the time where I was like, I could never be near her again. Well, maybe, actually, no, that's one of the times, but it wasn't the very last time. Because, yeah, with her, everyone just kept saying, "Oh, she's so great. She's so nice. She's so wonderful." And it's like, because I remember some of my family, they would see my reaction. "Oh, what? Why do you have that face? Oh, that's just because you're not trying hard enough. That's just because you don't want to pick up your feet. Oh, you're just not. See, you need to go to church more. Oh, see, you're not like your perfect sister." Oh, but anyway, okay. This time it wasn't a beach, but I forgot what it was. But it was like bumpy, like, okay, family members want to take us somewhere that we haven't been before in Alabama. And so I was going to wear those boots or whatever because I can walk in them. My mother said no. And she didn't know I was ready, because if she was going to make me wear those thong shoes, this time I had the band aids in the back. So they would be able to protect my toes or whatever. So I go into the bathroom, I'm putting the band-aids on my toes, and then I put the shoes on. And so I'm walking out, and one of my cousins starts laughing. "What do you have on your, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, that's so silly, that's so dumb." Then my mom sees, and she comes up to me. "Don't you dare embarrass me in front of these family. You better take those off your feet now." So then I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be in pain again today. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna be in pain today. And so I take them off and I throw them away. And yeah, same, like, I forgot where we went though, because yeah, it was somewhere kind of vacationy, but it, like, thinking of Alabama, I'm like, where did we go? Yeah, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because I'm like, if you knew where, like, yeah, if you knew where my family was, like, I'm just like, what, like, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. It's so hard to describe, but this is like 15 years ago, so okay, I'll say 10 to 15 years ago, but I think it was, yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, I think it was like in my mid to late 20s. And I think it might have been one of my last trips with the family that didn't have to be a funeral and stuff like that. And I was in college, but it was before I graduated. Yeah. Yeah. So this is before the Florida trip. Because actually, the Florida trip was, I think, the year I graduated college. Because, yeah, we went on a cruise the year we graduated. And then after the cruise, we spent time with family in Florida. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so the Alabama trip was before the Florida trip. So, and I went in reverse for a reason. Well, well, the Alabama trip was a little bit more horrifying and stuff like that. But okay, so I'm in Alabama and we're at this destination. I don't remember what the destination is, but it was kind of fun. But I'm literally trying not to walk. I'm literally trying to be still and everything. But yeah, my cousins weren't having that. Why are you being so lazy? Why don't you want to have fun? Oh, come on. You're acting like you're one of the old blah, blah, blah. And just, so then my mom's like, you better have fun with your cousins. You better act blah, blah, blah. I'm not letting them go home and talk about you and say how you don't want to do anything or how you think you're special or how you think you're better than blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm trying to make sure I don't have bleeding toes. And yeah, you want one day I'll tell you how I realized that I should not be wearing thong like sandals. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think it was high school. Yeah, I think it was high school. But that's when think I first realized the damage cuz like the pain wasn't in, well, no. It's like I had some pain, but I didn't get the pain. I thought it was normal, especially running track, playing tennis. I just thought, oh, this is what happens after. Because my doctors are saying the pain's in my head and I was making it up or whatever. So it's like yeah, that was my truth. I'm like, okay, whatever. So anyway, we get back to the house and my feet are hurting so badly or whatever, but I embarrassed my mom somehow because I wasn't running around and spending time and like playing around with cousins or talking and chilling with cousins and stuff like that or whatever. Yeah, this was high school. And so, because I kept wanting to sit down and everything. So I just remember when we get back to the house, I just think I'm just gonna go back to the guest room and change into some socks. Well, first put the band-aids on, then put some socks on, and then some shoes, and then go back out or whatever. Oh, but then my mom is following me. And at first I thought, okay, maybe she has to go to the restroom because the restroom's right before where my sister and I were sleeping. But then she follows me into the bedroom and closes the door. Do you know the horrifying feeling that I had? Because I'm just like, what did I do? Now what? Now what? And that's when, yeah, I'm not going to say too much because, yeah, I might put a warning in front of this episode. I'll see. But I will never forget my mom. Oh, I can't believe you embarrassed me like that. How are you going to act like this in front of families? Like, oh, and then, this is when I first had started wearing the, oh, no, no, no. Okay. I'm trying. I'm trying to remember when I started wearing the thick black shoes because I wore them in Florida, and I think this is when I first started wearing them. But I wasn't wearing them all the time, but I would wear them sometimes, especially once my feet were irritated. But my mom told family members, and my mom came up with the conclusion that I wore those shoes because I was trying to be a garden hoe. Because these shoes lifted up my thighs and my tush. It's because I wanted to get more attention from boys. So that's the reason I wanted to wear those shoes. It was so that I could get a man. Even though my mom said, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. My mom said I was so desperate and I was trying to get a man. But then people wonder why I was boy crazy. But then I ended up being boy crazy because my mom told me I was never going to get a man. But then at church, they said that as a woman, I'm supposed to get a husband. And I'm supposed to get a husband and be a good wife at a young age. And that, like, but then I kept thinking, okay, so I guess, like, oh, and my mom says I can't be choosy because if I walk like that, and since I'm so bubbly and cheery, men are going to think something's messed up with me, something's wrong with me. So I have to, like, because there's some guys who I did not like. I wasn't like, no. I went out with them and I was just like, oh, is this who I'm gonna have to marry? Is this who I'm gonna be with? Oh my god, like, if I had no, if I was, I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder if I was diagnosed, could I have found a Mr. Spider, like, but maybe a Mr. Spider that thought I was worth his time or whatever. One that wouldn't have broken my heart if when I was younger, someone who would have believed me or believed my pain or believed that either that or Mr. Spider that would have been my best friend forever. You know, I don't know, but yeah, my mom literally said that she started telling everybody that I was wearing those shoes because they lifted up my tush because I wanted to get attention from men, boys and men or whatever. So she went back into that room and grabbed me by my shirt, and because she stretched out the collar. Okay, after this, because I remember my mom told me, because we were about to go to other family members' house, she saw the collar while I was sitting with well, you know what? She passed away, so I don't, like, my Aunt Gussie, because let's just say she was a witness in a way. Um, she saw the collar. She didn't see the collar until she walked back and saw me watching TV with my Aunt Gussie, and my Aunt Gussie was holding my hand and she was rubbing my hand, trying to help me feel better, whatever. But while I was in that room, my mom was like, all you want to be is a garden hoe. I can't, like, and she's grabbing me, yanking me everywhere and saying, you just don't know how to pick up your feet. You just want attention. You don't want to walk right. You're asking for this. You're the one who wanted this. And then, other stuff happened or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, I let's just say my cheek was hurting for a couple hours. I was like, I don't know if she hit like an echo part in the cheek, but there were some times where I was talking and all of a sudden just the sensation from my cheek would erupt. Like when if one of my younger cousins or whatever, and even when my one of my aunts kissed me on the cheek and I remember it hurt after. But anyways, after the whole punishment or whatever, my mom walks out, goes outside to be with family. And oh yeah, she told me, you better fix your face and you better make sure your eyes aren't puffy because when we go with family, if any of them see your face, if anyone sees, it's like, you better not tell them what I did. You better not tell them what happened because this is your fault. This is because you don't love God. This is because you don't pray. This would be like, so then she's putting the church on. Yeah. So yeah, when people say they don't believe in church trauma, they can, oh, mm, they piss me off. Anyway, um, I guess, yeah, after the heartbreak, I've been really pissed off lately. Yeah, yeah. Because I think I've said it here and there, but I think I've said it 3 or 4 times within 2 episodes. I'm livid. I'm frustrated. I am. And I know Gremlin is loving it, but at least I'm honest. At least, like, because when she filed for divorce, I don't think she really meant it. I think I have a lot of guesses. I'm gonna have a whole episode on that, but I think it broke her heart, or I think she was waiting for him to beg for her back. I think she just did it for attention. She did it like, especially when she brought another man over to the house. And I think she wanted Mr. Spider to fight for her, but instead he went to the basement. But I don't know. It's like I think she wants someone to fight for her, especially since her first ex husband ABUSC'd her. So she's never really had a man fight for her in a way. Just either like, so I don't know. There's a lot of guesses I have or whatever with her. But that's just one thing that, yeah, there's a lot of things that, especially with how she kept trying to hurt me and stuff and call me names and like, yeah. But anyway, it just hurts because with how I walk and knowing like that entire time I was born with a disability, or I didn't know, but not like now knowing that entire time I was just trying to get through the pain of my disability. I was trying to just get through and live a somewhat normal life, that I was always trying to figure out and MacGyver a way so that I would be able to walk through life. Maybe not walking like everybody else, but I was just trying to make it through. But every time I was trying to make it through, everybody either they blamed me for not believing God enough or being religious enough, and or they blamed me for being a liar, wanting attention from men. And so then everyone kept telling me I was a liar. But then, like, even with my mom, it's like there were some family members when I would try to tell them what happened, because like when my mom told me I had to fix my face or whatever, yeah, my aunt Gussie, she like the entire time she would always say how wonderful and sweet my mom was. But I would never forget when I walked out that bathroom, or first I walked out the guest room. She saw me then, and she looked me eye to eye, and her face was just flushed. And I went to the restroom, and I'm putting cold water on my eyes, trying to make sure I didn't look like I've been crying, and because I was crying. But she came to the bathroom door, and I just remember she was like, "Are you okay, baby?" And I lied and said yes. And she was like, "Baby, are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And I remember she came into the bathroom and gave me a hug. And she was just like, "Baby, like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why she did that." And she was like, "I don't think anything's wrong with you. Don't, like, no, no." And she was like, "Have you been to the doctors?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I told her what they say. And she was just like, "That doesn't make any sense. Why would doctors say that? Why would they?" But she was like, "Okay, but we got to make sure your face is right." And I kind of wonder how close did she get to that door? How much did she hear? Because like almost everything that my mom was saying, she was like, "Okay, yes, let's make sure your eyes are right. Okay, let's make sure." And she even like my mom didn't notice the shirt though, so it's like I remember she was adjusting my collar. She told me, come over to the TV room," and I was sitting next to her. She poured me some soda, like strawberry. Like I remember, it's like, yeah, she poured me some strawberry soda where she's rubbing my hand, and she's just like, "It's gonna be okay, baby. It's gonna be okay." But then when my mom said we're about to go or whatever, and she sees my collar, so she tells me to run back and grab another one. And then my mom's asking my aunt if I was bothering her, and she was like, "No, my baby ain't." But like, and she just started doing that. Like there's this moan she used to do, like this kind of like from Jesus and stuff. So that's when I'm just like, oh, she knows what's going on. She knows what's going on. She believed me. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman. I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.